Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host, Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family, what's happening, to the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's going on, and to New Life Evangelists in the family, headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work. And a shout out to our amazing cameraman, Bob. On that note, we'll have another great show because in studio with me is a long-time colleague in the movement who's been a supporter of the Universal African Peoples Organization, as well as, though, he's an outstanding playwright, a creative artist, and an author, recent author. And I'm speaking none other than my good comrade, Ricki Connor. How you doing there, young man?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for the invite.
Right. When we begin our shows, we always like for our guests to share background information about themselves. So wherever you want people to know, the thousands of listeners to know about Ricki Connor, please share.
Okay. Well, during the day, I'm a project manager at a telecommunications company. And after 5, I am a creative writer. I joined a poet group that gave me some ideas on making my pen name, which is Meta Screenplays, into an entity. So I followed their rules and instruction, and I decided, hey, I can just do this for my creative writing. So I've created Meta Screenplays, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm creative writing through Meta Screenplays.
Now, what is Meta Screenplay? That's just the name, or
yeah, Meta. This was back when I was dealing with cryptocurrency, and actually it was before Facebook named themselves Meta. And screenplays is what I like to write. I like to write my scripts in screenplay form. So Meta Screenplays is what I decided to call my pen name.
Okay, then, and you do a lot of, you have done, and I've observed some of, that's why I call you a playwright. What got you into that area of creativeness? I mean, doing writing plays, and then also now you have also written a book titled Stage Ready, Tales for Creative Youth. Inspiring youth with couplets, and then it's a volume 1, Meta Screenplays. But what got you motivated into this kind of?
Truthfully, when I was about 9 years old, my grandmother took me to the Fox to see Mary Poppins.
Okay.
And it was a live performance, and that stuck with me. In high school, I was playing a kind of snidely Whiplash, kind of bad guy, and I did a laugh like, and the whole crowd just laughed, and I was stuck. Then I was like, oh man. In Forest Park, I had a class, creative writing, and we wrote every day. She said, just write something. And I found out that I had a gift for writing creatively, using my imagination, but I thought everybody could do this. And it wasn't until my wife told me, no, everybody can't do this, that I realized, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to focus on this more. So I was the person to always write the community programs for Kwanzaa, Juneteenth plays, and it's always been very easy for me. I've never had writer's block. And same thing with the book. I started writing these stories. I wanted to get 100 stories, but I stopped at 70. So I got 7 volumes of 10 scripts each in each one of the books.
Okay, then. Now, on the playwright, I know you had written a play and had people, in the being the actors for the play that you did for our organization. And most recently, though, you did a creative play. Was it for Black History Month or Kwanzaa last year, where it was a two-person characters, a brother named RJ and Zaki Baruti, right?
Yes.
Kind of quickly share what that was about. That was a real heavy piece.
Let me remember. Wow, I got so much in my head. Remember, you played an enslaved human, and he was giving you a quarter or a nickel or something.
Right.
I can't really remember the details, but if you refresh my memory, I probably can.
I'm a little older than you. But anyway, how upon being emancipated, it was something to that effect.
It had to do with.
But anyway, it was the audience responded really good to the So now, what motivated you to write Stage Ready, Tales for Creative Youth?
Yeah, well, I'm a grandfather now, and I was concerned that my grandchildren are into Roblox and Fortnite and all these other social apps. And you know, in the past, we used to say, "Don't let your children talk to strangers." Well, now we let them on the computer, and they're dealing with strangers all day long, posing as children. These are pedophiles or whatever. But I heard that one of the applications has a devil's island, where the children can spend their little money to enter this devil's island. But the devil's island is something about teaching them how to hurt themselves and hurt people. So I created my stage plays as positive messages. You know, many of them are based off of Aesop's fables. So they have positive morals, positive messages. A lot of times I can look at a moral or I think of a positive message and I create a whole story around that. Now my style is Dolomite meets Dr. Seuss, but without all the harsh words, you know. So
Dolomite meets...
remember Dolomite?
Yeah, Dolomite. Yeah.
So if you notice, a lot of my sentences, the last words will rhyme. So that's my style. I find that very easy to write.
Okay, and as I began reading, you have a table of comments, table of contents. And one of your, and these are little small plays with a message, right? That you're encouraging parents and teachers to utilize in teaching young people.
Correct.
Okay then. And one of them is called The X-Man and the Trees. Can you kind of give a synopsis of that and what was the moral? And I'm going to hit a couple of them. And you give, a little bit synopsis of it and moral meaning behind it. Okay, we'll start with, as I mentioned, The X-Man and the Trees.
Well, let me start with the moral of that and then help me remember what I wrote.
Okay.
The moral is give a person an inch and he'll take a mile. So what happened was this guy came into the woods and he had a hatchet, but he didn't have a handle. So he asked the trees, hey, can I have a tree so I can make a handle for my hatchet? And the tree said, well, yeah, go on and take this little one over here. Well, he took the tree and he started forming it into a handle for his hatchet. And then he started chopping down one of the trees.
Oh, wow.
And the tree said, oh, man, we made a mistake. Give some people an inch and they'll take a mile.
Right. Exploitation, as they would call it. But on that note, we're going to take our first break.
Do you have any idea how many people are having to sleep outside? Yes, viewers of the Zaki Baruti Show, you are being called into action at this time. Your help is urgently needed here at the New Life Evangelistic Center. Our teams are going out every day. And we need your prayers. We need your gifts here because we receive no city, state, or federal dollars. How many times I have to personally run to the store in order to just buy meat and bread? People could be making sandwiches and bringing them to the doors here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. They could be buying cases of water and bringing them here so we can get these out to the homeless people. 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. They could write out those checks and send them in, because we have to buy this. They're depending upon us. And not only that, they get bus tickets, hundreds and even thousands of bus tickets distributed to so many people who need transportation assistance. We can't do it without each and every one of you. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. You give online at nlecstl.org. Your prayers are urgently needed at this time. Come on, and you watch the Zaki Baruti Show. You hear about the various issues. Now it's important that we respond to those issues by helping so many people that have fallen through the safety nets in spite of the promises of the politicians. So many people are hurting right now. They're out there. They don't know where to go. What are they doing? I don't see hardly anything in St. Louis County, Jefferson County, St. Francis County. I can mention county after county, Madison County, St. Clair County. They want to ship them to St. Louis. St. Louis can't take care of all the problems. But we got to get all these other counties involved. In the meantime, we got to get your church involved. We need you. I've got a book I've written that if you'd like a copy of that, it's called The Case for Compassion. We'll be happy to share that with you if you request it. When you send in your gift to New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, that's 63166. You can give online at nlecstl.org. It's called The Case for Compassion, citing over 2,000 Bible verses that are used throughout the Scriptures, and yet we don't hear about this. I preach like we should. You can get a copy for your minister. But let's get our churches involved. Let's reach out. Let's help those that Jesus referred to. The least of these, after you've done to them, you've done it unto him. Let's help them right now. Please get involved. Call us at 314-421-3020 or share that much needed gift at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. You can give online at nlecstl.org.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 21 tells us, "He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has mercy on the poor, happy is he." And then again in Proverbs 14:31, "He who oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he who honors him," that is God, "has mercy on the needy." So if we truly want to honor God, we will show mercy to the needy around us.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me, playwright and creative artist, as well as author, Brother Ricki Connor, activist in our community. And we're diving into his most recently published book, Stage Ready, Tales for Creative Youth, Inspiring Youth with Couplets, Volume 1. And again, on the other side of the break, you were sharing how you have come up with this book in response to the negativity out here on the social media.
Right.
I didn't realize that they have media where they project the devil. I mean, on the other side.
Yeah, Devil's Island. Have you ever seen Grand Theft Auto?
No,
Okay.
I've heard about it.
My sons, when they were smaller, they both brought home A's. What do you want? I want PlayStation. I want, I forgot what the other one is, you know. So I got that, and they got Grand Theft Auto. I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm thinking it's a driving, you know. Then I came up one night, I hear all this cussing, and I opened the door. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, they had been turning the volume down so I couldn't hear it. They were cussing in there. You can go and snatch somebody out of a car." I said, "Well, see if you can kick him 20 times. He'd snatch him out and kicked him 20 times. And I was like, my goodness, you know, so I had to explain to them that this is a game. I don't want you all growing up like that. But these are the types of social apps that our children are privy to. And the parents just let them go on to it. And they don't know. They're talking to men that could be posing as a child, you know. And plus all the negativity in there.
Yeah, along with that, some of the filth that's aired through some of these musics, you know, I don't want to give it a play, but something like Sexy Red got out there, Hood Rats. I mean, there's so many negativity that we got to counter. So I salute you for trying to counter that with your...
And you remember how hip hop first started, it was about community and building.
Right.
Now it's about something else.
Right.
I don't know
Some
how it got
foolishness.
there. Yeah.
Now, another chapter you have in your book is The Bowman and Lion. And what's the moral and
The moral is be careful of things or people that can hurt you from afar. And this bowman came into the forest. And
when you say a bowman, you're talking about someone that do
archery, he had an archery.
Okay.
And this lion started bothering him, saying, "Hey, what are you doing out here by yourself?" You know. And the bowman's like, "Who said that?" And the lion is hiding, and he calls him a couple of names or whatever. So the bowman shoots an arrow in the sky, and it hits the lion in his backside. So it's all that's to say, you know, be careful of what you say and do, especially from people from afar, because that could, you know, hurt you.
Come all the way back around, and the lion say, "Ow! It hit me hard." Huh?
Yeah.
All right. The Boys and the Frogs.
Yeah, the Boys and the Frogs. I don't remember the moral of that one, but I know the boys are skipping rocks in a pond, and the frogs are threatened because, you know, the rocks could take off their head and kill them, you know. So the grandpa frog sticks his head up and say, "Hey, I know you guys think you're having fun, but you're causing, you know, death and chaos for us, you know, so please cut it out, you know."
Yeah, I guess the moral for me would be that you have to be careful in terms of not hurting people unintentionally. Would
Might
that be?
We can look up the moral real quick while you go to the next.
Okay then. Well, the man and his two girlfriends.
Oh, yeah. A middle-aged man named Authur Thomas, whose hair was beginning to turn gray, courted two beautiful women, one named Teresa and the other named Renee. Teresa was the youngest of the three and graduated high school 3 years ago. Renee was a much older woman and started her own YouTube television show. And it goes on and on. But the moral is, there are not many men living that can be part of two parties at once.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I will make a comment on that, but I'm going to hold my
You gonna leave that alone? Okay.
So your plays now, I mean, in terms of as you're reading the script and what have you, is to have the young people enact the wording that you got incorporated in here?
Yeah,
I mean, what? Yeah, explain that a little bit.
A lot
more.
of it is in the direction. You know, I left my email in the book so parents and teachers can get in touch with me to get ideas. But a lot of it is directing them to do that because a lot of them don't realize that the last words actually rhyme. You know, so that and stage presence, and if the narrator is describing your character, the character should be, you know, doing whatever the narrator's saying instead of just sitting up there waiting for your turn, you know.
Okay.
So a lot of
So in the sense that this what the different short plays that short skits that you have here is for students to kind of act them out and could kind of like in the end be an actor such as Denzel Washington, leading to that. Is that
a writer, a director, a stage manager? All of those are needed.
Okay.
As well as fundraising. You can teach them fundraising.
Okay.
And the moral of that is always stop to think whether your fun may be the cause of another's unhappiness.
Right. Yeah. That's a great moral. That's a great moral. The butcher and his customers.
Oh yeah. Well, these two customers came in and they stole some meat from the butcher. The one that stole it put it in his friend's back pocket. So he honestly said, you know, I don't have your meat.
Okay.
And the other one said, well, I didn't steal your meat. So they both were telling the truth, you know.
But with a twist.
Yeah.
And what is the moral there?
I'd have to look it up. I got too much on my mind.
Oh, man.
Once I got them in book, I didn't commit it to memory anymore.
Oh,
what
okay,
page is
then.
that on?
That one starts at 25, and as you're doing recalling, we don't have to take a quick break so you
Okay.
can get it right.
So many people are hurting and hopeless. They feel despondent and in despair. They are living on the streets in conditions that are horrible and not suitable for any human being. And it takes so many loving people to walk alongside them and give them opportunities to change. Zaki Baruti and his show is exposing the people who are making a real difference in our community. And he's been a faithful partner of New Life Evangelistic Center for many years. And I want to invite you to be like Zaki Baruti and make an impact in someone's life today. You can love others well, and you can do it in a meaningful and powerful way. I am so thankful for people who have partnered like Zaki, and I just want to share some of the impacts that you're really making when you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center. You're offering 365 days of care for a woman in need who's fleeing domestic abuse. You're offering not just care, but discipleship and mentorship and training services for her. Not only are you doing that, you're also getting hygiene kits and survival gears into the hand of people who need them, who are living on the streets of St. Louis. Not only that, but you're caring for orphans and widows in India, and you're preaching the gospel in every single one of these places, India, Ukraine, and all throughout mid-Missouri. You're also helping hundreds of people each day in the day center in Springfield. You're making a real impact on the lives of hundreds every single day. And you do that when you partner alongside New Life Evangelistic Center, along with faithful partners like Zaki Baruti. How I thank God for people like you for change.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. I'm in studio with me is Brother Ricki Connor, longtime comrade in the movement for liberation and struggle, who's an author as well as a playwright. And on the other side of the break, you know, you kind of gave a brief description of the butcher and his customers, and I was asking what was the moral behind that story?
Mm-hmm. The moral is prevarication often amounts to perjury. So that prevarication.
Okay, and what is prevarication?
Well, that's what I want the children to look up, you
Okay.
know. So this is also a book of learning different words and getting their confidence in reading.
Okay. Now, also in your table of comments, you have the farmer and the snake. What is that dealing with?
The farmer and the snake. The farmer found a frozen snake one day, and he picked the snake up and put it in his bosom to warm him up. Well, the snake warmed up, unthawed, and bit the man. So the man on his dying bed said, why did you bite me? And the snake
Ooh, the snake bit him?
Yeah.
God,
the snake said, you knew I was a snake?
Yeah. So what's the moral on that? That when you, do you want me to answer for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. When you find somebody out, take them for where they are, you know, in terms of if you see a serious flaw, understand that flaw, in my humble opinion, okay? And so, all right then, moving on then, the goose with the golden egg.
Okay, I got that. Excessive greed can destroy a person's steady income.
And what's the story behind it?
Well, the guy had a goose that created a golden egg each day, but he got tired of waiting for a whole day to get eggs, so he cut the goose up to get the eggs inside, but there were no eggs inside. So he realized he, you know, killed his goose, and he has no more golden eggs coming out.
Wow. And again, what's the moral of that?
Excessive greed
Oh, excessive greed.
can destroy a person's steady income.
I heard that then. All right, we're gonna do one or two more. Little Miss Alice.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Little Miss Alice was really a story about cryptocurrency. And the spider was trying to trick Alice out of getting her credentials. So at the end, Alice ended up, well, I don't want to talk the end, but you know, it's all about scammers.
Okay.
Yeah. This one doesn't follow the same pattern as the couplets.
Oh, okay. And when we use the word couplets, what are you saying? What is that?
Couplet is a poem that the last word in the sentence rhymes with the last word in the next sentence.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, the last one you have bats, beasts, and birds.
Yeah. Let me just read first page of that if I could. Bats, beasts, and birds lived together in harmony and complete peace. They drank the river water together each day before they would feast. Beasts lived and played under the trees, that's true, while in the huge, beautiful blue sky all the birds flew. They did live in harmony from the beginning of time, the bird and the beast, but this is the long-lost story that changed history and ended that peace. Deep, way down in the jungle, and many, many moons ago, a monkey made a mistake and stepped on a bird's left toe. Hey, aren't you going to say excuse me? Step back, bird, I barely touched you. Say excuse me before I count to 3. You don't scare me. I'm at count 2. Now what are you going to do? So, you know, it's a whole long story, but at the end, it's loyalty must be given in good and bad situations, else you will not be trusted by the ruling populations.
I heard that then. So loyalty why is loyalty important from your perspective?
Loyalty is, and I'm going to talk about it in the perspective of this book. The bird went to the bat and asked him to join forces with them to fight the beast. And the bat was like, man, you crazy. You see these wings? You know, I'm a bird, you know. And he went to the beast and he hid his wings trying to say, hey, I'm like a mouse, you know. I want to be on your side. So he kept changing sides.
Oh, okay.
So it's important to show that you can't just keep switching up when times get bad. You have to be loyalty. So that's what the moral is.
Oh, okay then. So on that note, we're going to take our last break.
This is what the Lord Almighty, this is what he says in Zechariah 7:9. Administer true justice, show mercy and compassion to one another. Psalm chapter 10, verse 18, to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, so that the man who's of the earth may not terrify them anymore. Isaiah 1:17, learn to do right, seek justice, relieve the oppressed, and correct the oppressor, defend the fatherless, and plead for the widow.
God loves a cheerful giver. Even though things are really tough right now, you can make a difference in the lives of so many. New Life has been doing this work for 50 years, and we have seen God's gracious goodness through people like you who have participated in this work. There are so many people who are suffering. More people are becoming homeless for the first time with the rising costs of inflation and food and housing and so many other commodities. We need help. You can make a difference today in the lives of so many by giving your tax-deductible gift to get involved in this incredible work.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, and in studio with me is playwright and author and creative artist, brother Ricki Connor. Let me, first of all, salute you on, I love the image that you have on the front cover of your booklet, which is Stage Ready Tales for Creative Youth, where you're projecting young people, projecting on stage, in terms of images. How can, if anybody is interested in getting a copy of your book, how would they be able to get it?
They can go to our website, metascreenplays.com, and you can order it from there.
Okay. Would you repeat that again?
Metascreenplays is META, and then screenplays, SCREEN.plays.
Okay, then. Now, for our audience, as it relates to this book and just a general statement that you would encourage parents and our community to engage in, what would that be?
Well, this is an alternative to the social media that is projecting a lot of negative images for our youth. This teaches morals, positive messages. It gives youth a chance to stand up, do public speaking, learn about performing arts, learn about holding fundraisers, and just teaching them morals, which I don't see that being taught in the public, in the social media or even the cartoons, So this was my gift to my grandchildren, and I figured, hey, other youth can benefit from it too. As we get older, we want to look back and see, what have I left? And this is something that I can say I love.
I know that's right. What have I left for the generations that's come forward?
Yeah.
So how do you, as an activist, what is your analysis of the state of Black America right now, very quickly?
Well, right now we are living through a boycott that I'm all in for, because we are being treated unfairly. Our children are sitting ducks out here, and unless and until our children and us are safe, and I feel that we're safe, I'm going to go with the majority, and if it's an economic boycott, then so be it,
And you were talking about the economic boycott in response to what's taking place with the new administration and that kind of thing?
That's
Is that
correct.
What
They're doing away with DEI initiatives and just a lot of things that are against. A lot of people that voted for this administration didn't know that he was possibly going to be doing all the things that he's doing. So,
in 10 to 20 seconds, why is it important for folks to belong to organizations?
Well,
that speaks truth to power, shall I say?
Yeah. It's very important to organize. And when you find an organization that's organized, you need to be a part of it to build up their strength to fight some of the things that we're trying to, better for our community.
Okay, on that note, I really appreciate you sitting in the chair and being with Zaki Baruti. And as we close out, like always, I encourage everybody for the upcoming elections to know the issues, but also go out and vote, as well as everybody need to belong to an organization that has a history of working for the upliftment of our people and trying to transform this society. We say, join the Universal African Peoples Organization. On that note, may God bless each and every one of you. Again, thank you, my brother.